There's a really good chance that your first e-commerce business is going to fail. Yes, you heard me correctly. Your first e-commerce business has a 99.9% chance of failing, just like all of mine did. Fast forward a few years later, I've now done 5 million plus in sales in e-commerce. How did I go from failing at my first 13 stores to selling more than $5 million of product, fishing line specifically? Hey, what is up? My name is Ryan. If you guys are new to my channel, I make videos on all things e-commerce, business, money, real estate, and basically trying to help you make more money with your online businesses. So let's hop right into this video. So my journey in e-commerce has come a long way. I first started e-commerce very early in college when I was about 19 years old. I think it was my first year in college. And I got introduced to it by my cousin who was dropshipping at the time. He actually gave me a login to a course that he purchased, and I went through that thing like crazy. There was a bunch of video sections. I basically lived on it. I was playing summer baseball and I had a lot of free time. And basically when I wasn't on the baseball field, I was in front of my computer learning about e-commerce. Now, before we continue this story, I just want to hop into my screen share really quick so you can see the 19 pages I've managed. Each one of those pages was a business that I've tried, started, and most likely failed. There's a few winners in here. So I've tried knives. Beyond Braid is obviously the business I have now. That's the one that's flying high in colors and doing millions in sales. This education one I just started. I'm actually coming out with an e-commerce course / training / mentorship. So that's brand new. Fishing Kings is a variation of Beyond Braid. I'll explain that later. Modern Beauty Tools. Man, I tried selling that one so hard. The Outdoor Store. Tried it, failed. The Solo Cup. Tried it, failed. True Jew. I am Jewish, so I tried to start a Jewish store. Tried it, failed. Cash for iPhones. This business was actually successful. It wasn't really e-commerce. It was a little bit different. Limitless Luxwear. That was a brand that me and my girlfriend trying to start. Tried it, failed. Cycling Heroes. I would say failed because it broke even. Puppy Masters. My first store ever. Tried and failed. Black Shirt Movement. Tried and failed. Forte Knives. Tried and failed. Cooking is Easy is my cooking YouTube channel. Go subscribe if you want. And that is history. So let me just quickly explain what happened. So my first store I ever tried was Puppy Masters. That was the original store I tried. I was still very early. I was like halfway through the course and I tried to start the store and it failed. I didn't know how to run ads properly. I didn't know how to find products correctly. I didn't know how to build a website correctly. All those things led to a failed store. Fast forward a few months later, I was in summer baseball. I'm like, hey, I know a lot about fishing. Let me try selling fishing products and starting a fishing store. That is where I started Fishing Kings. Now, in 3 months, I ended up doing about $25,000 in sales. I think I made a few $1,000s in profit, but for the most part, it broke even. And when I went back to school and summer ended, people stopped fishing in the summer, the business tanked. And I said, you know what? I don't like this. I closed it down. Fast forward a few months later, I started Modern Beauty Tools. So instead of selling a seasonal product, which was hot in the summer and then cold in the winter, I tried to sell something that you could sell year round. So I started selling makeup brushes, nail polish kits, things I knew nothing about. So the reason that business failed is I didn't know the lingo of my customer. I couldn't relate to my customer because I'm not a girl who uses beauty tools. And overall, I just couldn't get the business right. I didn't have clean branding. It just didn't really fit well. So that store failed. Move on to the Outdoor Store. I tried selling outdoors equipment. My marketing sucked, failed. The Solo Cup was where I tried to sell college trinkets and like beer signs and alcohol stuff. That failed. True Jew, I tried to sell necklaces just like this one. This is actually my grandfather's, but stuff like this. It failed. And all of those rest of those businesses failed. Limitless Luxwear, Cycling Heroes, all those other businesses failed. Why? Because I didn't have a core of 3 things. Fast forward a whole year and a half later, I came back to Fishing Kings. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this fishing thing one more time. I got sent off to Boonville, New York, population 4,000 to go play baseball for the summer. I basically had all day until 7 o'clock to do whatever I wanted until I had to play a baseball game. And what I started doing was researching YouTube videos. I started getting a bunch of ads for people trying to sell me courses. And what I would do was attend their webinars and take as many notes as I can and never really buy anything. I probably would have fast tracked it if I bought someone's course and just learned the stuff, but I was too cheap and stubborn at the time to do so. Looking back now, I probably should have bought the course. But again, I did research from so many people, my cousin, thousands of people on YouTube, webinars. It was a freaking mess. But I started catching traction and I started learning from my mistakes and I picked up these few tips. Tip number 1, your marketing and your Facebook ads have to be on point. If you do not know how to market, create a Facebook ad, a converting Facebook ad, and drive traffic to the website, you could build the most beautiful website ever. But if you cannot get eyeballs on that website, you will not get any sales and your business will fail. So that was number one. I learned how to properly create ads, run Facebook ads, do targeting, do retargeting, all the stuff that comes along with successful Facebook ads. Number two, I optimized my landing page. So what does that mean? I didn't perfect my website. I just took my landing page on my website where I was driving the traffic to, and I perfected it. I put clean images, a great description, I put videos, I put other infographics, I put reviews, and really made that landing page stand out. And number three, I built a brand. So I went from drop shipping to building a brand. The brand I built is called Beyond Braid, right? This is the fishing line. So you can see this is the website of my brand, Beyond Braid. We currently have 40,000 followers on Instagram. We've got about 10,000 on TikTok, about 1,000 on YouTube. And that is what has led to the biggest success, was building a brand. So number one, know your marketing, learn your Facebook ads, learn how to become an expert at Facebook and driving traffic to your website. Number two, optimize your landing page. That is the most important part because that's where all your traffic's going. That's the first impression. And that's what's really gonna sell them is that landing page. Number three, you gotta create a brand. You gotta create something that people can trust. They can see other people are using it. You have to have a good social media with good, clean graphics, good pictures, good images, and people who can really buy into your product and your company and your logo and your brand, right? Because that is what's gonna ultimately lead to a business blowing up and having customers come back for more and more. Like my business right now has 22% returning customer rate. So if I've sold 122,000 of these spools, that means 30-something thousand people are gonna come back and buy again. That's a lot of freaking people at 25 bucks a spool. My average order value is actually $52. But back to it, the reason I made this video is because I want to set your expectations and be realistic with you. If you're starting an e-commerce business, whether it's Amazon FBA, drop shipping, building a brand, private label, Walmart, automation, any of those online businesses, most likely your first go around, you're gonna fail. But I want you to keep going. Just know in the end, it's gonna be worth it. When you learn through trial and effort, you're eventually gonna learn the specific skill sets and test out the market and figure out what you need to do in order to be successful. Moral of the story, keep going. If you're failing now, keep pushing through it. Learn from your mistakes, see what you can do better. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Go ahead, throw a like on this video. Maybe consider subscribing. If you don't like me, you can dislike this video because I suck. Beep beep. Just kidding. Go ahead, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.